72 degrees. Is it morning yet? Yeah, it's still morning. Well, I can't tell you how many times I've recorded. I'm just always in a hurry, and I'm like, okay, don't upload that one. I record again, and I'm just like, okay, don't upload that one either. I forgot to check how many people were at Denny's because I've been watching videos on how these restaurants are raising their prices, and their food is not up to par anymore. But you know what? I didn't even want to talk about this, but I'll start out with it. I've already seen 2 videos where 2 people say that they paid so much, like at the Chick-fil-A. And this last girl said that all she got was some kind of chicken sandwich, like a club sandwich, a macaroni, and a drink. A dragon fruit tea of some sort, right? And she said she paid $20. Now, I know prices are different depending on where you live. But I went into the app, I looked at the pricing, I went with a small macaroni. I don't know if she got a small or a medium, but it wouldn't have been that much of a difference in price anyway. But I looked at a club sandwich, a macaroni, small, and a medium drink. Now, they didn't have dragon fruit on the menu here, so I just went with a regular lemonade, you know. The total came out to $12.47. I'm like, how is she saying that she paid $20 for those 3 items? And furthermore, you do know that you can order a combo. You can say, yeah, I want the combo, the chicken club combo, but for the drink, I want a lemonade, I want a dragon fruit, whatever. And they'll just charge you the difference, you know? Or you can even ask them, you know, I don't want fries, I want a macaroni, would I be able to substitute? You can ask that, and they'll just charge you the difference. I don't understand how or why they would order each item individually when, yeah, that's going to cost you more. But either way, like I said, I looked up these items individually, and it came out to $12.47. So either she ordered something extra, some extra items in there that she didn't mention, or the prices where she lives are like really outrageous. I don't know. I'm talking about Chick-fil-A, and I'm like so hungry right now. My stomach is growling. I don't even know if the recording can pick that up. But yeah, I went to counseling right now, and I feel like I was already frustrating my counselor. I know I'm not. She actually feels for me because of everything that I've been going through. I'm going on week 3 of turmoil. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but yeah, I really feel like I'm being physically attacked and spiritually attacked, and I'm not sure what is going on or why this truck in back of me is like trying to tailgate me for some reason. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about them, and that's something that I'm going to start working on. Don't worry about other people anymore. Like, don't get bullied, and don't worry about how other people feel. If they feel a certain way with you, that's on them, not on you. The car next to me is going at the same speed as I am. I'm pretty sure they're doing it on purpose at this point. Anyhow, they don't want the truck to pass either me or them. Cool. I love it. Awesome. Anyway, excuse me. As I was saying, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm going to be getting like this really huge blessing my way, or something negative is really pissed off at me. I don't know, but I'll tell you this much. I am really, really, like, I'm to my breaking point. That's what I was telling my counselor, like, I cannot do this. I cannot. Like, this is ridiculous. The husband has the flu now, which is unexpected, right? However, it's going to put us in a bind financially. And I'm not looking forward to that at all. That's just more stress added to the stress that I already have. And it just seems like in this relationship, it has been one trial after another. And I'm beginning to question if it's worth it. I see a lot of unfairness in this relationship. And I can tell you all right now for a fact that if it was me that was sick, I would not be having anybody taking care of me right now. I would have to be driving myself everywhere still, including the doctor. I would have to be making something to eat for myself and my son. Nobody would be there doing any of this for me, and yet he does. And it's not even like appreciated. It's more like I make something and oh no, I didn't want that type of deal. Or okay, fine, I'll eat a little bit of what you made, but I'm still hungry. Can you make me a sandwich type of deal? And when you're already stressed out, you know, you're already like about to like blow your top already at this point, because you're like, I am doing the best that I can. Like, well, I'm at the grocery store again, and it is packed. It's barely going to be lunchtime, and it is packed here. I don't know what's going on. I wish I would have come later, though, because last time that I came, that's when I got the birds on camera, and they were so cute. But I decided to come this time. I'm waiting on a prescription because I finally got to go to the dermatologist yesterday. I hadn't been able to go since Christmas. And if you're wanting to know why I had to go, it's because I got an allergic reaction to some kind of cream that I put under my eyes. And I got what you call contact dermatitis. And I've been miserable since then. I'm talking about feeling that burning, the itchiness, type of feeling on your eyes. And I was putting Vaseline. It didn't help very much. And I didn't go during the Christmas holidays because the holidays. Gotta save some money, right? I didn't go at the beginning of this year, again, because of the holidays. Gotta save some money. I hadn't gone because, well, the husband got the flu. Gotta save some money. And I finally just told him, I said, you know what, I need to go. I can't do this anymore. My eyes are driving me insane. I can't even sleep now. I finally went yesterday, and I love the dermatologist. If you all are ever in my part of town, go to Valley Dermatology. They are really, really nice there. The staff is amazing. The nurse practitioner, Dora, I love her. I love her. She helped me out last time, and this time she helped me out again. So she gave me a sample of the antibiotic because it's not covered by my insurance. And then she prescribed me some Neosporin with a stronger dose than your regular Neo to put at night And then she also told me to take something for allergies at night so that I won't itch. So that's why I'm here. And of course, you call the pharmacy, they never answer here. And that was another ordeal. When I came for my husband's medications on Monday, it was like around 4 o'clock. No. I called at 4 to see if they were ready. And they told me, yeah, we're already working on them. They should be ready in 30 minutes. And I said, okay, great. I didn't get here until 6:30. And I went inside, and then the girl there behind the counter tells me, no, it's going to be about 45 more minutes. I'm like, but I called at 4 and they said it was already ready. And she's like, we do have other people in line. We do have other people waiting, ma'am. And I was like, I understand that, but I called since 4 o'clock. And she's giving me this sarcastic smile of hers and look like, next, And I'm like, wow, she was just really incredibly rude after a long day. So I'm like, okay, I will be around. And then it turns out that one of the prescriptions was written. And I was asking the husband about that. I was like, why is this prescription written? He's like, oh, I don't know. Just don't worry about it. They already called him in, yada, yada, yada. Well, he was wrong. Fortunately, since I was already there, I said, let me go to the drop-off area and see if they had this one in the system or not. Because apparently the one they prescribed through the system, it was going to be $96. We did have a coupon for that they gave him at the doctor's office, but they didn't want to honor that coupon. So anyhow, here I go to the drop-off area, and I tell them, like, I need, to drop this off. I don't think it's in the system yet. And she's checking. And then while I'm waiting for her to check, I said, can you also tell me if that's included in if the insurance will cover it? And she just snaps at me. She's like, I have to submit it first. With that tone. And I'm like, okay. That was the second person that snapped at me, by the way. And yes, I did see that they were overwhelmed. There was a long line of patients. There's always a long line at the pharmacy. However, did I deserve to be spoken to like that? No. She could have, said it more kindly, like, I'll check for you, ma'am. Let me just submit it first, and then I'll let you know. Well, fortunately, it turns out it was covered by the insurance, but there was going to be a 30-minute wait for that. And I said, that's fine. I will wait because they're telling me that the other medications are going to take 45 minutes anyway. So I'll just be around, She's like, okay. She changed her tone with me at that point. She got a little nicer. But the fact that she talked to me in the first tone was like, wow, it was uncalled for. And I don't think I'm being sensitive or overly sensitive, because some people will use that to deflect. And you people know who you are. The kind of people that talk to you however they want and dump on you whenever they want. And yet the moment you kind of speak up for yourself, they take a defense for it. They're like, how dare you talk to me that way? And they don't acknowledge their own behavior, nor do they take accountability for it. They rather just deflect and be like, it's you, not me. You have the problem, I don't. These past couple of weeks, I've kind of felt like I'm living in a world that's mentally ill. And I'm here taking the blame for it because I'm the one going to counseling, trying to get help from something that I'm wondering, do I even have this issue? It seems that I'm surrounded with a lot of people that have issues, that have anger issues, that have comprehension skill issues, that just don't have any self-awareness. And yet they're all trying to blame me for it. You know, and at some point it felt like it was like me against the world. Because I was like, okay, this is just too much already. And here's another example of that is my neighbor. You know, the insufferable neighbor. I did all these favors for her, right? And I didn't have to. I could have just said no. And yet, when I needed somebody to talk to last week, that I happened to text her about a certain situation, she ignored my texts for 2 days. Didn't answer me. And I'm like, all right. And you can imagine how that bothers someone when you know that they're always on their phone. They're always texting, they're always talking to somebody, but yet you text them and they don't answer. And everybody's been there. I know I'm not the only one, you know? And so I'm like, all right, this is what she wants to do. And I just sent her a last text, a final text, and I said, okay, so this is the second night you don't answer me. You did this to me once before already. That's fine. You take care. And I left it at that. And she still didn't answer me. Even though according to her she did, okay? But it's not on the phone. So if it's not on my phone, no, you didn't. Maybe you tried to by telepathic communication or something, but no, you didn't. And anyhow, I'll get some water really quick. So then all of a sudden she shows up at my door on Sunday acting like nothing. And then I said, what's up? I haven't heard from you in a couple of days. What's going on? And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, I sent you a text. You did not answer me. I responded, oh, really? What did the text say? You know? And I said, oh, you know what? Just forget it. You know? And then she's like, well, it's because, and there was no apology in there because these people do not apologize. We've all know that, right? We all know that by now. Whenever somebody does something wrong to you, they don't apologize. How? They can't. It's beneath them. So she didn't apologize. She was like, well, it's because the house that I was going to move to, everything fell through. There was just too many problems with it. And it was going to cost me too much money to fix it. And it wouldn't get passed by inspection and this and this and that. And so, you know, I'm really upset about that. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Everybody has issues right now. Everybody has problems. Everybody has something that they're going to. It's not all about you. And then I dropped it at that point. But you know what? How many of us know that even though you tell them this and you say this to them, they quickly, without fail, take defense to it. And they automatically turn to that, there's something wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're having a bad day. I don't know. Like you all, I'm always getting distracted. There is a flying balloon. Y'all see it? It's a heart. Thank you, Jesus. Jesus is probably like, here you go, Moon. You need this. I do. I actually do. I need a lot of TLC. So, anyhow, we dropped it. We started talking again up until the other day that she suddenly texted me about a neighbor being a booty call. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I had just woken up dealing with a husband all night, you know, and I had just woken up. I was barely getting in the shower. She's texting me nonstop about this neighbor being a booty call and how the guy that came out of that neighbor's apartment is doing the walk of shame. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, booty call. You don't know what booty call is? It's an expression and you should Google it. I mean, like that. And I was like, you're kidding me. Like, I don't deserve to be talked to like this. I just woke up. What the hell, you know? And so I said, I know what booty call is. I don't know who you were talking about, what neighbor you're referring to. And, you know, what would I care as long as they're not parked outside my bedroom window? You know? And I'm like, you should Google what respect is. You know? And I said, have a nice day. And then she responds with, I was just informing you. You have a nice day as well. And I was like, there was no reason for her to even respond like that either. At that point, it's like, just shut up. But, again, how many of us know that they have to have the last word? These people have to have the last word. They need to know that they're in control. They're the ones that shut you down. You didn't shut them down. And they need to put you in your place somehow. So after that, I didn't even respond to her. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to give her the satisfaction anymore. You know, goodbye, good riddance, good luck. Do not text me anymore. Another person is my cousin. For 3 weeks straight, she unloaded all her problems on me about her boyfriend and how her boyfriend was in the hospital and how her boyfriend this and this and that and how her boyfriend treats her so bad and how she has to pay everything for the boyfriend and on and on and on and on and on. Like I said, I needed somebody to talk to last week. She was MIA. She's been MIA for 2 weeks now. And I'm like, really? Really? This is what I get now? Okay. But honestly, you all, you know, like I said, these people, there is something wrong with them, not with us. And I say this because some of us need to hear that. I think it's time that we need to start building up our confidence. We need to put that barrier of spiritual protection on ourselves. That hedge of protection. And not let these people have any impact in our mentality. Because it's very dangerous for us. It's very draining, and it's going to lead us to be in a place that we don't want to be. Like, even my counselor was telling me, I think you're getting to the point of being enraged. And I said, yeah. You know, it's one thing to be a Christian and wanting to be there for people and helping, but that needs to work both ways. Like, one person being a Christian is not enough, you know? People need to start helping themselves. You can be there for someone and you can advise someone and pray for them, but they need to start helping themselves. It is too much for us as a human being to be their counselor and their healer and try to fix things for them when that's not what we were equipped for. We are not greater than God. We are not greater than Jesus. We're not capable. Whatever they're going through, it's bigger than we are, and we can only just be there as support. But support means setting our boundaries. I'll listen to some of what you have to say, but then I'm going to cut you off before it starts to affect me emotionally, physically, and mentally. And then I'm going to say, you know what, let's pray. Or, have you been getting into the Word? Have you prayed about this? And they're either going to take delight in that, or they're going to be like, you know what, I don't want to talk to you anymore if you're just going to keep bringing up God and the Bible like you're perfect. If that is the way they feel, I'm sorry that you feel that way. That's not how I feel. I'm sorry that you feel that way. But that is something that you feel, and that is something that you need to work through. I'm not responsible for it. I'm not responsible for how you're feeling right now. And, you know, that's another thing we need to remember, because that's something that I forgot. That I am not responsible how somebody feels. If they're having a bad day at the grocery store, at the pharmacy, wherever, if they are having a bad day and they are snapping at you for it, take it with a grain of salt. Just, you know, pray for them under your breath if you have to, if you want to, and just go about your business and just take it with a grain of salt. Don't take it personally. It's not even about you. It's not about you anymore. It's about them. And if you let it to become about you, it's going to start consuming you. And you're the one that's going to be weakened. That's how we start getting sick. That's how we start getting problems with our digestive systems, with our defense, what is it called? Our immune system starts coming down, and we start getting colds and flus and all this other stuff, you know, allergies. And believe it or not, when I got this dermatitis, contact dermatitis on my eyes, what makes it flare up even more is stress. I was reading on it and I was like, whoa, really? Wow. Like even that? Yeah, everything that we go through in our lives is all down to one common denominator: stress. And you all, it's not worth it. It is not worth it. Now, I know some of us are in situations where we're in a relationship, that we are in a committed relationship, like with your spouse, where it's kind of hard to deal with that. You can't just exactly walk away like you would like to, you know, like I've been wanting to, and not deal with that stress. But there's a way that we can protect ourselves. We can let our spouse know, look, I'm sorry that you are feeling bad. I'm sorry that you're going through this, but you will not be taking that out on me. Now, I'm here to help you. I'm here to get you what you need, but you will not be treating me disrespectfully. You know, we need to set our boundaries. Boundaries go a long way with everybody. So anyhow, with that said, I'm going to get down already. There's people coming and going here. It's lunch hour. It's 12:05, and they're probably wondering, who is she talking to? Oh, I'm talking to myself. But anyway, you all, thank you for listening, and I hope this helps somebody out, because I know that my car is dirty. I know that we're all going through something right now. The holidays, you thought they were over. Things are going to get back to normal now. But for some of us in our lives, it doesn't work that way. Right? For some of us, it's just like any other day. It continues. But we can start taking control back and not let it consume us. So with that said, love you all. Talk to you all again soon. Bye.